Are you ready? Are you ready for your next performer? Yeah! Joe Scrocca from Jersey. Let him hear it. Yeah!
All right. Thanks, Greg. Thanks for getting my name right. And thanks, Good Karma Festival and Church of Satire for having me. Guys, I love doing stand-up comedy. I love working with all these funny comedians like we have on the lineup tonight. But a couple weeks ago, I worked with a comic that told a story that brought back a childhood memory. He told a story about how he found his father's stash of pornography, and he and his dad bonded over that moment. Well, wait, it gets better. When I was 9, I found my father's stash of pornography. Now, we didn't bond over that moment, but that's when I discovered my father was gay. Johnny Does the Catching is not a baseball film. I figured that out after the 3rd time I watched it. There was no baseball in this movie. My mother wasn't much better when I was a little kid. She didn't think I knew my name. So she buys me this ridiculous shirt that said, "Hello, my name is Joseph John." Now, I look back on that as an adult and realize she was serving me up to the pedophiles on a silver platter with that stupid shirt. So I wear this shirt to school one day, and I'm walking home. This weird guy in a van comes up to me and says, "Hey, Joseph John, why don't you get in the van? I've got some candy." "Hey, Joseph John, why don't you get in the van? I've got a puppy." I didn't know who he was talking to. My mother was right. I didn't know my fucking name. I do CrossFit. I've been doing it for 12 years. I'm doing it wrong because nothing is improving on my body. It's getting worse. But they always throw a great Christmas party. This last year they threw a party. They got me a nice present. They bought me brandy. Not the alcohol, the sex toy. And brandy was this rubber vagina and butthole. That's all it was. And I thought to myself, there are pathetic guys that buy this thing to use. I'm going to have some fun with it. So the next morning, I put a little ketchup on it, threw it on the dash or on the hood of my car, took a picture, posted it to Facebook, said, "Hey, I was driving home last night. I hit this naked lady. Can somebody come claim the remains?" I'll never be allowed to be on Facebook again. Next morning, 2 state troopers come to my door. "We need to see Brandy." I explained that we still need to see Brandy. Now, at this point, I have to confess, I became one of the pathetic guys that used this thing for what it was made for. And I wasn't sure how well I cleaned it. So I'm carrying it to the door. Trooper says, "Okay, I see it, I'm fine, I'm gonna go write my report up." Second trooper stays there and he hands me a piece of paper. I said, "What's this?" He says, "This is the website where you get the cleaning solution for Brandy." He says, "I know, I have her cousin Bambi." I'm getting older sucks. I'm gonna be 65 this year, guys. I'm turning 65. And I don't know where the time went. I feel like it was just yesterday where I was 18, staying out all night, and now my biggest concern is that I take my blood pressure medicine. So right? I'm living this. These aren't stories, this is my life. I just choose to share it with strangers on a Saturday night in Hanover, Pennsylvania. Thank you. But people say 65, it's milestone year, you're gonna have a party. I said, at this point really it's no more a celebration, it's more of a countdown. And the reason I say that is, 63 gave me some nasty things like erectile dysfunction, anal leakage. But some of you guys might be able to relate to the worst one. I saw myself naked in front of a full-length mirror. Gravity has not been good to my balls. You guys remember that toy, the clackers? I have to lengthen the string at this point, but you get the idea. But my brain still works. My mind is sharp as a, anyway. I'll think of it. But anyway, I did a show where they asked the comedians, what was the worst advice you ever got? And I remember like it was yesterday, it was over 30 years ago. I was going out with this beautiful woman. My roommate said, listen, you're going to get lucky, you're going to get laid, don't use protection. Penicillin cures everything. No, it doesn't. What penicillin did not cure is that 30-year-old kid that still runs around my house calling me dad. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? And as we get older, we have to do certain medical things, right? I just, last year was colonoscopy time. You guys know about the colonoscopy, where they take that mile-long hose and shove it all the way up your ass. Now, when they did my procedure, they didn't put me under all the way. They gave me that twilight. And they said in the recovery room, oh, that I made them laugh that I was talking while they were doing the procedure. I said, oh, really? What did I say? So, well, the one thing that made us all laugh is you said, come on, fellas, one at a time. Some weird anesthesia they gave me. But anyway, if you had this procedure, you know the procedure itself isn't that bad. It's the day before the prep. You can't eat, only clear liquids. And about 8 o'clock, they tell you you're going to start to evacuate, which, in case you don't know, is a medical term for shit your brains out. So 8 o'clock comes, I start to evacuate. 9, 10, 11, 1, I'm still evacuating. I'm thinking, am I shitting out a lung? I look in the toilet. No bodily organs in the toilet, but I was wondering, when the hell did I eat catfish? But the best part of this whole procedure is, at the end they give you a souvenir picture. I mean, it's 3/4 of a mile up my ass. What am I going to do with this? Do I start an album? Do I put it on the fridge? Right now it's just laying on my kitchen table and I just sip my coffee, looking at my intestines, whatever the hell it is. Oh gosh, but I did get some medical procedures for some of my medical ailments. I had a Pez dispenser surgically installed in my ass cheek. And what this device does is it systematically releases testosterone as my body needs it. And after the procedure, the doctor said to me, listen, in about 2 weeks, you're going to get some really good wood. I said, Doc, that's great, but I'm not dating anybody. That wood's probably going to rot in the lumberyard. So like I said, I go to CrossFit, and for some reason, the guys, they're fixated on my ass. Do I have a nice ass?
Yes!
They love my ass. So I go in just for a light workout after the procedure. This one girl winds up, hits me right on the incision. Now I have 6 months worth of testosterone in my system. That's like taking a whole prescription of Viagra. 3 days I had an erection. I jerked off 13 times and got sick of it. Well, I'd like to wrap this little get-together up by telling you a story about a trip I took down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, about a year ago. I went by myself. I was getting bored hanging around the pool. So I came across this little town called Wilton Manors. Has anybody ever heard of Wilton Manors?
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, second gayest town in America, right?
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah! Now, I'm not gay, but I was curious, all right?
Yeah, Joe.
So I went into a gay bar, had a drink, minding my own business. This guy comes up to me and says, how much? How much what? How much hair do you have under that shirt? Nobody's ever asked me that question before. I had no idea how to answer it. So I did the smartest thing I could do in a gay bar. I lifted my shirt and I showed him. Exactly what his reaction was. He's petting me. And I figured, okay, I'll be his little Italian shit pet for a while. Maybe I'll get a free drink, but I said not below the equator. And that's normally when I pull my shirt down. I said, sweetie, if you ever want to switch teams, you give me a call. I'd love to be your coach. He gives me his number and he starts to walk away. As he's walking away, he looks back at me and said, when you were a little kid, did you have a shirt that said, hello, my name is Joseph John?